2022 Kart Race of Champions in the heavyweights category will be crowned over the next 20 minutes here at the Buckmore Park circuit in Kent, the heart of British karting. The rain coming down, but that certainly won't stop the action here on this premier circuit, with the leading kart clubs represented on this 18-driver grid. Anwar Smith has qualified in pole position, some 7 points clear of Ryan Sandall. They will start as the favourites from the front of the grid for this 20-minute race. The points behind them was Sam Lukes, then Matthew Spencer and Bradley Shepherd after some good performances in the heats. Adrian Perez, who started on pole position, led all the way in the B final. Other experienced names around the Buckmore Park circuit include Mark Puxty, making a return from injury over the last few weeks. Dan Wright is very quick around Buckmore Park as well, and Robin Kassam has a lot of experience of this circuit too. He starts back in 15th place, but it is Anwar Smith in pole position, 2 wins in his qualifying heats earlier on. We get underway with the A final for the heavyweight category. Ryan Sandall alongside as they go level into Conway's corner for the first time. It is really wet at this stage of the day for this A final. Number 3 of Sam Lukes up there into 3rd place, but already attacking for the lead is Ryan Sandall as they head down into the hairpins for the first time. Coming through on the inside, the number 14, that's Matthew Spencer. He's made a decent getaway from 4th on the grid. It's going to be absolutely treacherous as they get acclimatised to these conditions. The 13 can't bring up very wide there. That's Bradley Shepherd. He had a heat win earlier on, putting him 5th in the point standings. They're all okay so far. It is Anwar Berawal Smith, to give his full name, who leads the way in the early stages of this one on kart number 9. Are they all going to make it into paddock corner okay? They seem to have for the first time. Trying to challenge for the lead is Ryan Sandall on kart number 2. 3rd is the number 14 of Matthew Spencer, being chased down by the 3 of Sam Lukes. Matthew Spencer a fine first lap here. Next through the number 13 of Bradley Shepherd, recovering from running wide earlier on. Further back in the pack we see the number 1 of Justin Elliott and the 5 of Sam Slater, but it is Anwar Berawal Smith who leads the early going, the 33-year-old Club 100 driver, under fire from Ryan Sandall, a Club 100 rival, the former Buckmore Ironman champion, won the solo extreme title and the 2021 Buckmore Sprint C2 category champion as well. Twice an esports champion with Club 100 as well, so a very successful racer indeed here at Buckmore over the years. Sliding wide over that painted curb, you don't want to get onto there. That was the number 14 of Matthew Spencer. Certainly very treacherous indeed out there, as we have already seen in these first couple of laps. And not for our 2 leaders, they have gone clear. Ryan Sandall, the 24-year-old, giving chase to our race leader. He's really wet here as they come up towards Garda. Third place is the number 3 of Sam Lukes, the 43-year-old DJ Motorsports driver. 11th place in the Kart Race of Champions 2 years ago here, banging side panels there. The 14 of Matthew Spencer, the 17 of Alex Jones. He's come up well. The BP Pro Series regular here. Kart Master Winter Champion in 2021 as the leaders both slide wide through the right-hander at Henry's Bend. Ryan Sandall is not hanging about here. He's going for it as they go through the right-handed hairpin 1 up to hairpin 2. Quick look behind from Ryan Sandall. He's safe from attack there, so he can concentrate on trying to take the lead away from the number 9 of Anwar Smith. 3rd is still the number 3 of Sam Lukes, and then sliding wide there nearly into the tyre wall. The 14 of Matthew Spencer, the 13 of Bradley Shepherd. That's dropped them back. Somebody else went wide in there as well, showing how hard they are pushing in this heavyweight A final. And the 2nd place man Ryan Sandall has gone wide. This is going to allow Sam Lukes to attack as they come up to Garda. Still clear of the opposition. Everybody else is trying to be 5th further behind. It's a solid scrub of karts for 5th place. The first 4 have been able to escape. The 17 of Alex Jones in 4th place. Then everybody else trying to be 5th. Matthew Spencer at the front of this group. The 5 is all over the place. That's Sam Slater. In the middle here, it's number 1 of Justin Elliott and number 4 of Mark Puxty in there as well. The Buckmore regular running well in the white crash helmet there. He's got ahead of Bradley Shepherd as a result of that little sort out. To the inside in the black crash hat goes the number 1 of Justin Elliott, the Daytona Super Champs driver, attacking Bradley Shepherd, a heat winner earlier on. Running very nicely indeed in the orange here, but he loses out there on the hairpin. Looks like Sam Slater on the number 5 is going to go through as well. It's 3 wide out of the hairpin. Running wide is the number 4 of Puxty. The number 1 runs wide as well. Dismissive gesture there as the pack sorts themselves out. There's contact further back, the 16. That was of Vito Dakers, and the 18 of Adrian Perez. That's our B final winner, and the leader's gone wide coming into Paddock Bend, and through goes the number 2 of Ryan Sandell into the lead. Anwar Smith got wide onto the painted part of the outside of the circuit there. He's gone down to 3rd now because the 3 of Sam Lukes has come through as well. Alex Jones behind them, so Smith goes from 1st to 3rd. It's Ryan Sandell, the Club 100 driver, who leads the way. He's 10th in the Kart Race of Champions last year in the heavyweight category, looking to knock the 0 off the end of that this year and come in 1st place. The 9 Anwar Smith trying his hardest to fight back. He was 2nd in 2020. He sends it up the inside there. He's never going to get that turn back in time. 3rd to 1st and back to 3rd again in the blink of an eye. Tries again with an attack. He's getting impatient here. Attacks number 3 of Sam Lukes. They bounce off each other. They both go wide, nearly into the tyre wall. What was that, says the number 3 of Sam Lukes. His hand in the air. A bit of needle creeping into this at the front of the field now. Bradley Shepherd goes out wide as well. How wide do you want your circuit coming out of hairpin 2? And they're leaning on each other again. Look at this. Oh, this is getting a bit rough now for 2nd place. 17 of Alex Jones moving up onto the attack as well, but this is allowing Ryan Sandell to escape at the front of the field as Anwar Smith and Sam Lukes go into battle for that 2nd place. Sam Lukes was not happy there, being pushed wide on the hairpin. He got the move equalised later in the lap and is back into 2nd position, the DJ Motorsport driver. Closing up is the 17 of Alex Jones, the Kartmaster Winter Champion, 3-time Buckmore Sprint League champion as well, among other titles he's won in the sports. 7th place in Kart Race of Champions 2021 at Brighton. Just keeping a watching brief on our 3 leaders here. Reigning heavyweight champion Ed White not competing this year, so there is going to be a new name on the trophy. Despite the rain, the onlookers certainly enjoying the action as well. Bradley Shepherd wide again. He always is there off that hairpin. As attacking for the lead now is Sam Lukes on the number 3 kart. It's great racing between these 4 at the front of the field, despite how treacherous it is. And Sandell trying to hold his nerve there and hold his lead as Anwar Smith back up the inside at Garda. He's going to go through back into 2nd position. This is great stuff. Through at Senna into 2nd. Luke slides across the front of Jones to hold that 3rd place. They're really taking some risks here. Ryan Sandell is escaping slowly but surely at the front of the field in this heavyweight A final. Who's going to be the Kart Race of Champions in the heavyweight category? I reckon it's going to be one of these 4 unless something major goes wrong in the closing laps. Still plenty of laps to go. We're not yet at halfway. Minor Stern now for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Sandell's escaped slightly. Here comes the 17 of Alex Jones on the attack on the back of number 9 Anwar Smith. It's alias Smith and Jones for 3rd place. And of course, the harder they battle, the more the next group, headed by Mark Puxty, is going to be able to close up here. Sliding their way down Symes Sweep into Paddock Corner. See the standing water being flung up there by the rear tyres on the 17 kart of Alex Jones. Now they're starting to space out a bit. Jones has dropped back slightly from the number 9 of Anwar Smith. Through Senna's they go. Then up towards Cafe Corner. Still Ryan Sandell leads the way, avoiding the worst of the standing water on the inside as he comes out of the final corner up to Conway's to begin another lap. Lap speeds, not surprisingly, down from what they were in the heats earlier on, with this cloudburst having arrived for the finals. Through the hairpins, Anwar Smith trying to fight his way back up. He qualified on pole with 2 wins and a 3rd from his 3 heats. Ryan Sandell got a 1st, 3rd and 4th. Sam Lukes a 1st, a 2nd and a 7th. Alex Jones could only manage a best of 3rd. He had a 5th and a 6th as well. Qualified a little further down the grid on row 4, but he's able to run with the leaders here. The rest of the pack makes its way through. The 15 very sideways in that. It's Dan Wright. Qualified fairly well, the Rugby Kart Club driver. 2021 Rugby Sprint Series runner-up. Here's the battle further back. Mark Puxty in 5th, Bradley Shepherd in 6th, and Sam Slater in 7th place, attacking Shepherd. Sam Slater, the British Indoor Kart Champion of 2020. He's won a fair few other titles as well. Mark Puxty continues to increase his advantage in 5th place though. Now well behind the top 4. Bradley Shepherd is dancing his kart around. He seems to spend most of his time out on those painted curves. He must like going sideways, but it's not helping his position because Sam Slater has come through there. Only 21st in the Kart Race of Champions last year. So aiming for some improvement this time around. Battling away with Bradley Shepherd. Slots in behind him there. Behind them, the number 14. That is Matthew Spencer, the Tamworth Enduro star. He's won any number of endurance races, 3 Daytona 24-hour wins, 2 Rye House 12-hour wins as well, among others. He's an endurance specialist. But this is only a 20-minute relative sprint compared to some of the events we see in the karting world contested by these drivers. So the battle rages on for 6 between Shepherd and Slater. Sliding about again, sideways Shepherd I think would be a good nickname for the man on the number 13, Bradley Shepherd. Let's hope it's not going to be unlucky 13 for him. Over the line they go, pulling clear of the number 14 of Matthew Spencer. 6th last year at Brighton. Won a multitude of titles over the years. Mostly in endurance racing. Sam Slater gets it sideways through hairpin 2. Twice Southern Rental Kart champion in the last 2 years. Further back there's number 17, Alex Jones, chasing Anwar Smith. This is the battle for 3rd place, starting to heat up once again. The first 2 have pulled away in the lead now. Ryan Sandel ahead of Sam Lukes. These 2 starting to fight for 3rd, with the front 2 getting away. I think it's going to be one of those 2 who takes the Kart Race of Champions title here. It's looking good for Sandel and for Lukes. Over the line go the leaders. Here comes the 3rd place fight. Anwar Smith looks behind him. Alex Jones looking to make a move into Conway's corner. They both go out wide through Henry's Bend, named after the late Henry Surtees, son of the legendary John Surtees, of course. And Anwar Smith's gone wide there on hairpin 1. Alex Jones says, thank you very much, I'll go through and take 3rd place away. So Jones up into 3rd place now. Are we going to see the 5th place fight start to tail up onto the back of this group? Mark Puxty is a bit closer now. Here are the leaders. Still nose to tail. Lukes goes a little bit wide there on the left going into paddock corner. Towards Garner. 3 kart lengths in it between the 2 of them. It's still Ryan Sandel who leads the way. Great drive by the 24-year-old. Of titles in the past, including the Buckmore Ironman Championship, the Brighton Endurance Championship as well. Racing with Club 100, and behind him is with DJ Motorsports, Sam Lukes. Through the hairpins once again, and Lukes is getting closer. He's got the gap down to less than a length now. As they come through the hairpins. Sam Lukes looking determined, with almost a skull and crossbones design on the back of his kart suit there. Is he going to plunder the race lead? Mark Puxty closing in. He's broken away in 5th place now. He's going after Smith and Jones, fighting for 3rd place. Sam Lukes trying to capitalise on any mistake by Ryan Sandel, who runs a bit wide there at paddock corner. Towards the right-hander at Garda. A little slow on the exit there, Ryan Sandel, as they head down through the Senna S. He's a bit sideways. Starting to feel the pressure here, maybe, from Sam Lukes behind him. It's just between these 2 now, I would say, for the heavyweight championship here today. It's Kart Race of Champions 2022. Back at its spiritual home of Buckmore Park in Kent. Down towards the right-hander and swinging into the left. They are well clear of Alex Jones in third place. Then it's Anwar Smith. They're being caught by Mark Puxty. Next group is headed up by Bradley Shepherd, Sam Slater and Matthew Spencer. Alex Jones starting to get clear of Anwar Smith now in the fight for third place. Looks like he was sizing up a move there, down towards paddock, down Symes sweep. Sandal again runs a little wide there over the curve. Up towards the right at Garden. Tension mounting now in the closing second half of this Kart Race of Champions Heavyweights A final for 2022. Alex Jones is now in a safe third ahead of Anwar Smith. He's being reeled in by Mark Puxty for that fourth place. Through Conways. Then through towards Henry's Bend. This is great stuff. Can Ryan Sandall hang on? Still the lead there as they come out of the hairpin up towards the sweep down towards paddock once again. Jones still third ahead of Smith. Then Mark Puxty on his own in fifth position. Swing their way along to the bottom of the circuit. It's still really wet down here. It's the most treacherous part of the circuit. But Ryan Sandall is coping admirably with these conditions. Surely is heading for the Kart Race of Champions here if he can just soak up a few laps more pressure from Sam Lukes. Just a few laps to go. It's just between these two. Alex Jones in a safe third place on the number 17. He's got clear of Anwar Smith and Mark Puxty still closing in on them. They're fairly well spaced out behind. Battle in the background there is between the 15 of Dan Wright, and I think that was Adrian Perez, our B final winner. He's down towards the rear of the field. Leader goes a little wide through Symes sweep there, but gathers it up. He's pulled away just a little from Sam Lukes now. They head along the bottom of the circuit once again. Sliding out of Senna S, then up the hill towards Cafe Corner. Alex Jones looks safe in that third place. Can he catch the two leaders? He's not doing so at the moment. The lap's winding down now. Ryan Sandall's able to pull away just a little. Down towards hairpin 1 once again. I'd say just a couple more laps to go after this one. Anything, the rain is easing slightly, I would think, in the closing stages of this race, but only slightly. Track's still sodden, but they've coped very well indeed. Certainly the wild man of this race has been Bradley Shepherd on number 13. Mark Puxty still breaking away in that fifth position. Shepherd still holding off Sam Slater for sixth. Seventh behind them is number 14. That's Matthew Spencer ahead of the number 1 of Justin Elliott. Sixth heads down to the bottom of the circuit. Still Shepherd holding on. A little more measured now, not running wide onto the curbs quite as much. It's number 5 of Sam Slater, the former British indoor kart champion. Probably wishing today's race was indoors as he attacks coming through Cafe Corner. Doesn't manage to get through though, the 13 holds him off. Out wide, Shepherd looks behind him briefly. Leaders into their penultimate lap by my calculations now. Somebody slowing just ahead of this duo. Are they catching up to the back of Anwar Smith there? Yes, that's the number 9. So he's had a moment somewhere, and Sam Slater has a moment, goes over the grass. Next through is the 14, then the 1 and the 19. 14, Matthew Spencer won just nearly. At number 19, Robin Kassam. He's had quite a quiet day. Raced with many clubs over the past 18 years. Started at Swindon. Knows Buckmore very well indeed. Now representing the Rugby Kart Club as Sam Slater goes wide there at Garda. Tried an attack on the outside. It didn't work. We're on the final lap of the race now. The leaders still nose to tail. I don't think Sam Lukes is quite going to do it. He's going to try his hardest to close up on this final lap of this heavyweight A final. But it is still Ryan Sandall holding on at the front of the field. He was only 10th at Brighton last year. Is it going to be P1 or P2 this year? Alex Jones is going to be P3, surely. He's safe in third. Number 7 behind there is Ben Pickard. He's been lapped. Here they come. The attack is on from Sam Lukes. He's determined to get up alongside as they go into paddock corner. He's got the tighter line on the exits. He hasn't got the speed out of the corner, though. Up towards Garda for the final time. This is going to be close. Ryan Sandall is sideways through Garda. They're absolutely nose to tail in there. Can they get alongside? Can Lukes get alongside on the run up through Cafe Corner? I don't think he's going to do it. Ryan Sandall got the better exits there from Senna's. They come up towards the line. Ryan Sandall wins it. Just ahead of Sam Lukes, nose to tail as they cross the line. Ryan Sandall takes the Kart Champion of Champions for 2022 in the heavyweight category. Ryan Sandall is Kart Racer Champions. The rest of the pack come across the line. Third goes to Alex Jones. Mark Puxty getting through for 4th ahead of Anwar Smith, and Sam Slater frustrated. They just couldn't get past Bradley Shepherd for 6th position. Next home is the number 14 of Matthew Spencer. The rest of them across the line and off the curb there on the final corner. That was the 16 of Vito Dakers. Oh, superb race there. Everybody making it home. Just one car to lap down. That was Ben Pickard. Adrian Perez comes in just ahead of Dan Wright. But it is kart number 2 taking P1. Congratulations to Ryan Sandall, Kart Race of Champions winner in the heavyweight category for 2022. He's had a 5th, a 7th and a 10th in the last 3 years, but it's P1 this year. Brilliance from Ryan Sandall. Well done indeed. Congratulations to him. Taking the win by just less than 0.2 of a second over Sam Lukes. Brilliant close racing between those two in the closing stages. And Alex Jones completing the podium ahead of Mark Puxty and the pole sitter Anwar Smith. All 18 drivers making it home in our heavyweight B final.
In 4th place was Mark Puxty. In 3rd place, 5 seconds off the win, was Alex Jones. Second place, just missing out, 0.1 of a second, Sam Lukes. Done. But this year's winner in the heavyweight class, big round of applause, goes to Ryan Sandall. Smile, boys.
Your send, definitely called me off. I was proud scared of life. Almost made it stick.
Well done to your podium finish, please.
Ryan Sandall, Kart Race of Champions winner for 2022, and boy did you have to fight for it. Just 0.2 of a second covering you top 2 over the line.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't look behind. That was a hell of a race. Conditions obviously well, horrendous out there, and it was so much concentration. I'm just exhausted from that. But yeah, got the result, which say the last few times I've done this event has been not gone quite to plan. But yeah, no, it's been really good. Yeah, very proud of the result.
The gap was opening up and closing like an accordion. The two of you, there were a couple of moments where I thought, you know, you were going to separate out and that was going to be it. Both of you digging in quite well, and particularly, as you said, with difficult track conditions today.
Yeah, it was just all about maintaining. Well, so I felt good enough that if he did try, I could get him on the cutback or something. But every time I went through the hairpins, I could see him in the corner of my eye, so it was very, very nerve-wracking. But yeah, it was. I'm just tired. It's been amazing to perform so well, because usually it doesn't go quite to plan. But yeah, happy to get through, and yeah, ecstatic with the result.
And obviously a great prize for you as well. So what are you going to be doing with that?
I have absolutely no, straight into savings probably at this day and age. But yeah, I'll look forward to seeing that turn up in my bank account.
Well, you've obviously proven that you are sensible on the track. That's what helped you in the wet conditions, and sensible with the prize as well. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.